Tell me one thing that she's been stating that is false about what Israel has done, or Benjamin Netanyahu has done, or hold on a second, or the U.S.S. Liberty. And I'm sick and tired of people, and I know you said this, it was 50 years ago. I don't give a if it was 200 years ago. The fact that they attacked and killed 34 American soldiers and got away with it, that's an act of war, Adam. Let's just be honest with each other, okay? There's a huge misconception that the moment you criticize what Israel does as a nation, you are a freaking anti-Semite. That's why they pushed that bill in Congress. It's BS, and they get away with a lot, Adam.
Adam Sosnick and Vincent Oshana got into a rather heated debate about Israel's conduct in Gaza. And this was on the Patrick Bet-David podcast, in case you guys aren't familiar with it. Now, Vinny is clearly following the story closely, considering he outlines some of the worst atrocities that have been committed by the IDF and by Israel. Take a look.
I don't know if you guys noticed this. A couple weeks ago, Israeli soldiers were on camera raping Palestinian prisoners, detainees.
Show it
okay, I sent it to Rob.
Okay.
I sent it to Adam. Am I anti-Semite now? Because I'm proving that not only did they not get in trouble, Israelis came to the prison and rioted to get those soldiers out, and then the soldiers were released, and one of them was on camera saying, yeah, we did it, and what? So here's my point, Adam. Just because you want to criticize a certain, Adam, people criticize the United States all the time. I criticize as a veteran, George Bush Jr. and the act of disgustingness that he did with 9/11 and freaking Iraq.
Look, it's rare for me to come across anything in media that feels cathartic. That was an example of one of the few times, but yeah. I have more. Cenk, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, look, so people kind of expect me and you these days to stick up for Palestinians, etc. But when you see right-wingers do it, it is cathartic, and to see them realize what's going on for the first time in my lifetime, it's such a relief, because it was just, you got mainstream media gaslighting you already. When right-wing media was part of corporate media, like Fox News, Sean Hannity, those guys, they repeat the same exact talking points as mainstream media about Israel, right? So now that we have real independent media, and actual opinions are starting to pop out, right? And people are beginning to look into things and not necessarily just take a preset ideology that Sean Hannity gives you and goes, this is you must love Israel if you're a right winger.
Yeah, this is the truth. This is what you must believe.
Yeah, and then now finally people have figured out U.S.S. Liberty, right? That's been forever. In the old days, if you said that, they're like, that's it, you're an anti-Semite, even though it's 100% true.
Yeah,
right.
So I want to actually get into that. So I want to thank Vinny. Like, we don't agree on a lot of things politically speaking. I was uninformed about U.S.S. Liberty until I heard him talking about it, and that made me want to look into it. And so I want to go to an Israeli source on this matter, and that's Haaretz, one of the best publications out of Israel, and they talked about it. So the U.S.S. Liberty was basically a spy ship, a US spy ship that was attacked by Israel. This was back on June 8th of 1967. They were attacked by Israel both by air and sea. 34 Americans died as a result. 171 Americans were wounded as a result. Now, Israel apologized for the attack, saying that the USS Liberty had been attacked in error after being mistaken for an Egyptian ship. But survivors of the attack totally disagree. They reject that claim, and they maintain that the attack was deliberate. Now, with that in mind, let's go to the Haaretz piece, which you can read for yourselves. It's titled, "But sir, it's an American ship. Never mind, hit her." When Israel attacked USS Liberty, the Americans have findings that show our pilots were aware the ship was American. A newly published document by the State Archive says. And so the Haaretz piece covers basically this book that was published at the time titled Remember the Liberty, in which some of the authors who were survivors of that attack explain what they experienced. And the 302 pages of that book basically also provides some document evidence for the claims. And so the book quotes a story reported by former US Ambassador to Lebanon, Dwight Porter, who recounted a conversation between an Israeli pilot and the Israeli Air Force war room, which was allegedly picked up by an NSA aircraft and inadvertently cabled to CIA offices around the world. And here's what the exchange was. You had an Israeli pilot to the IDF war room saying, "This is an American ship. Do you still want us to attack?" The IDF war room responds with, "Yes, follow orders." The Israeli pilot says, "But sir, it's an American ship. I can see the flag." And the response to that was, "Never mind, hit it." And they did.
Yeah.
So
I believe that was Yitzhak Rabin, who later offered up a decent peace deal. And I'm a reasonable person. You do peace with your enemies, not your friends. I would have happily done the deal with Rabin. Rabin's deal wasn't as good as Omer's deal. I would have done that deal. So this isn't just like, we're just being nuanced here and giving you all the facts. Now, having said that, imagine any other country that hit one of our warships and killed 34 Americans, and we don't do anything about it, and they did it on purpose, and they pretend to be our ally. Look, in a sense, you could say, well, look, all countries pretend to be allies, but they only care about their own interests. So you could say that about UK, the example I often use is Turkey because I'm from there and they're a huge part of NATO. Everybody's got their own interests, right? And we're all allies while it benefits us. But if Turkey or any other ostensible ally hit a US warship and killed 34 Americans, there would have been hell to pay.
I mean, it depends though. Would Turkey have a powerful lobby bribing our politicians?
Well, apparently they don't, or if they do, it's just the mayor of New York apparently. Anyways, and they're doing it in a dumb, illegal way. No, AIPAC's been around forever.
Yes.
And nobody ever investigates them, by the way. We assume they're American citizens, but he would, like, if you even dare to suggest the AIPAC should be investigated and where their money's coming from, of course you would be called an anti-Semite, canceled, driven from mainstream media, et cetera.
Now, there's something therapeutic about the righteous anger here that's demonstrated by Vinny. I want to skip ahead to E4, where Adam, who he's debating with, and I should note that Adam is Israeli, so he, it's an identity thing for Adam. So I kind of understand where he's coming from, but Adam is going to try to defend Israel. Let's see how he does so and how Vinny responds to him.
You think Israel is just this perfect country that is innocent, that has never done anything wrong? No.
Have they been held accountable for any of it?
Go ahead, are you the guy?
No, I'm not. Okay, but you just proved my point. So you can't, hold on, Adam, you just proved my point. So
you don't have a point.
U.S.S. Liberty,
your point is,
U.S.S. Liberty, dancing Israelis, cheering that not the towers were coming down, cheering, they all were part of intelligence. They all get, because you're full of
question.
No, because you love Israel. So, you can't. Adam, they can do whatever they want.
I acknowledge
they can do whatever they want.
They are a better ally than enemy.
But you're saying they can get away with murder, Adam, because we're supposed to forget about it.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's horseshit.
So what Vinny is trying to say here is there needs to be some accountability, right? And there hasn't been accountability, and that's a problem. Simply saying, well, Israel's an ally, and so we should just gloss over any wrongdoing isn't enough. And look, there's a lot of people who like to pretend they're America first, right? A lot of people who pretend like they care about this country and they want to make sure our people are taken care of before anything else happens. Vinny is one of those people who actually means it. And so he's a veteran. He did serve in the military, right? He did put his life on the line to protect the country and serve in the military. And so he has that angry response about what happened with the U.S.S. Liberty because he thinks about himself, he thinks about the people that he served with, his friends and peers that he served with. And so I totally understand his righteous rage. I mean, I thank him for saying what he's saying because remember, this is a conservative podcast, right? And usually conservative circles are more rah-rah Israel no matter what compared to the Democratic circles or liberal circles, so.
Yeah, look, the premise of the debate was a little off. They're debating whether Dan Bilzerian and Candace Owens are anti-Semitic or not. But you got to separate out those two things because my issue with Candace Owens isn't that she's against Israel's actions. I'm against Israel's actions. No, my problem with her is when she says there's a small group of Jewish people in Washington and LA that run the country, et cetera. That's like classic anti-Semitic tropes. And then somebody's got to ask her this. I don't know if somebody has or not, but she liked to tweet saying that Jews drink the blood of Christian children. So if she meant that, and that's not some sort of accident, that is totally unacceptable. That has nothing to do with Israel. That's just nonsense, lunatic anti-Semitism, okay? So I don't know Dan Bilzerian, I don't know anything other than, apparently, I know who he is and stuff, but I don't care about him. That's not the point, right? The point is Israel, the government of Israel, doing the right thing or the wrong thing? Should we keep funding them? Should we keep giving them $4 billion a year, $26 billion recently? Especially after they not only slaughtered 40,000 Palestinians with it, even if you don't care about the Palestinians, first, you're immoral, but okay, fine. But even if you're past that, why are we paying them to slaughter Palestinians?
Okay, so then that takes me to the final clip of this debate. And you should watch the full debate. It was lengthy, right? And obviously we don't have time to show you the entire debate. It would take up the whole show. But here's one more clip where the funding Israel question comes up.
But with zero accountability, that means, Adam, in 100 years from now, we're gonna go, well, guess what? They did it and who cares? Because they're our allies, so they can get away with murder.
So there's dozens of wars going on all around the world.
Yes.
Why aren't you talking about
who's
the war
the closest
in Syria,
ally? Because Adam, my
Yemen,
tax dollars are going to what's happening over there in Gaza, Adam. And if you've been keeping toll of the death count of children and everything, that sits on my mind. Because at what point is that going to stop? So when is that going to end?
What other wars?
And by the way, again, wait, let me guess. Because I said that, I support Hamas and I hate Jews. Is that what it is?
I don't want to see any deaths of anybody.
Come on, man. But the numbers are staggering in the other way. When is that going to stop?
Good luck in this position you're taking, because all you're doing is aligning yourself with Iran.
Oh, there it is. See, and that's it, because you always have to have take a side. Adam, how about this? America, I don't know how hard this is to understand. I am us first. I don't give a about Bibi Netanyahu. I don't give a about Germany. I don't care about France. I don't care about anybody but the United States of America first. Once we're secure, then we can go talk to other people.
Then, Vinny, unfortunately, you're a child.
Okay,
because
Adam,
every grown-up country has allies.
I never said allies. Adam,
yes.
Once you served in the military, then you could talk all you want to me about being a child.
I enjoyed that, Cenk.
Yeah. Look, Adam's point is ridiculous, and it's so childish. I mean, you want to talk about childish. I listened to the whole spiel about, well, now you see, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So see, we have enemies, Iran, and he lists like a bunch of Muslim countries, and we hate those Muslims, right? We hate them, right? And they hate us. So, and Israel hates them too. So that's why we love Israel. You know why half those Muslim countries hate us? It's because we support Israel. Because the Israelis have been occupying the Palestinians for 57 years and crushing them and humiliating them in front of the whole world and rubbing their face in it and saying to the 1.6 billion Muslims in the world, there's nothing you can do about it. America's backing us, and if we ever get into trouble, we'll just send them to kill you, okay? And besides which, America, send me more money. I'm busy killing Muslims here. And then those countries, oh wow, they didn't like that. Big shock. Then they turn into our enemies. And then people like Adam go, well, now they're our enemies. Says Israel made them our enemies, but now since they're our enemies and they're dirty Muslims, we have to stay friends and allies with Israel. No, we don't. No, we don't. How about we say you're a fake ally? All you've ever done is attack us. And then I saw this section where he's like, oh, well, they do a lot of things for us. Really, Adam? What do they do for us? He said, oh, well, they give us military intelligence on which of their enemies to kill for them. What military? They spied on us. They literally steal our secrets. And then every once in a while they send a little bit back, but only if it helps their own cause. So they're like, okay, here's a Muslim to murder. Okay, go ahead. Oh, I gave you military intelligence. What do you mean? Okay. So no, Israel doesn't. And he said tech. Tech. Anybody can do tech. What, are there tech companies not going to sell to us if we're not allies? Of course they're going to do business with us, like every country does.
I know.
That's not a big ally.
I know, but America famously doesn't have tech.
No, we don't have any tech. Without Israel, we'd be lost. We'd have no tech at all. I mean, what an insane thing. Okay, well, okay, then if Iran gives us a little bit of tech, do we then go, okay, then we love Iran? They do tech.
They do tech.
And by the way, Iran was very happy to give us military information about Israel and to bomb Israel. Well, what? They gave us military intelligence and they gave us tech.
Okay.
So that's why we have to give them $26 billion back. Hey, you give me $26 billion, I'll give you a lot of tech.
Okay. Okay, but I also want to just quickly address the false choice that Adam is putting out there, right? Where you either support everything that Israel does, because if you don't, that means you support Iran.
Yeah, no, that's just a dumb point. Just dumb.
No. And it's the same argument that they make when it comes to what's happening in Gaza. Oh, well, if you don't greenlight everything that Netanyahu wants to do and what the far-right government of Israel wants to do, that means you support Hamas. Doesn't matter if you have stated how much you hate them or spoke out against the atrocities they committed on October 7th. You have to support Israel 100%, because if you don't, it means you support terrorists.
Yeah, okay. All right, so last things for me. Number one, here, watch me. This is gonna be so hard. I don't agree with the government of Iran. They're run by a bunch of mullahs. I hate it, I can't stand it. I hope the people of Iran are free. The government of Israel is also doing tons of things wrong. Wow, what a miracle. It turns out you can criticize Israel and Iran. Wow, that was such a hard point to get past. Ooh, no. If you criticize Israel, that means you love Iran. No, it doesn't. That's a total logical fallacy, and any child can see that. Now, let's go to left wing versus right wing. So again, I'm originally from Turkey. I like the left wing governments in Turkey because I'm more secular, right? I don't like the right wing government that is more fundamentalist and drives the country in that direction. I'm allowed to say that about Turkey. I'm allowed to say about America. I like the left-wing governments in America. I don't like the right-wing governments in America. But on Israel, left-wing or right-wing, it doesn't matter. You have to bow your head. No, I don't. Why do I have to like the right-wing government of Israel? What a lunatic thing to say. If you don't, we'll call you an anti-Semite. Have at it, Hoss. Call me, call Vinny, call all of America anti-Semite. See how that turns out for you. No. You're not allowed to have an opinion on Israel. You must support no matter what they do. You sound ridiculous. And finally, I want to thank Vinny for pointing out Palestinian children. So we said after October 7th, can you believe it was terrible what Hamas did? 34 dead Israeli kids. You can't do that to kids. Now 15,000 dead Palestinian kids. Don't tell me you care about them. Don't tell me you care about them if you say Israel should keep going. You don't. You thought it was no big deal to slaughter 15,000 innocent children, including women and children. That is over 25,000. Imagine a basketball stadium all filled with dead women and children. Israel did that. Nope, you can't say it. Shh, they're our ally, otherwise you love Iran. You can keep making dumb points, but this debate is over. The only people left on Israel's side are the ones who are zealots and who are like, I don't care if they murder 400,000. They are the moral army. And the Palestinians, they're always dirty savages. So yeah, you could say that argument all day long. No one believes you anymore. Scream anti-Semite off a cliff and see how that turns out for you.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.